Hello survivors! This next video I have decided to take a small break from building buildings for my Zombicide board and paint one of my abominations. Specifically the clown abomination. With the Terrifier films coming into popularity recently, I thought it would be cool to make an Art the Clown abomination. I haven't actually seen the movie, but I have seen some of the death scenes, and boy are they bloody. The clown will need some changes though. First things first, let's make sure the setting is established. By this I mean I want to add a victim. So I sacrificed one of my many generic zombies to make it work. I cut up the body and spread it out on the base. I used some super glue, but mostly wood glue since any extra that dried would act more as more gore details when I painted it. I cut the balloons off too since I wanted to make him holding a giant butcher knife instead. Art the Clown also does not have any hair poking out on his sides, so I cut and filed off the hair. And added a line of green stuff around his face to act as more of the fitted hood. I didn't have a tiny knife around, so I mixed up some green stuff and did my best to sculpt what would be a giant mini butcher knife thing. After it dried though, I found that the green stuff had cured flexible. It was my first time working with it, so I didn't know how it was going to behave once dried. Not really what I was looking for, so I took the base that I used earlier from the zombie and drew a smaller knife template on it and cut it out. I gave it a little bevel, and here it is. I also had to cut the handle off since the hand on the clown was permanently closed, and I didn't want to attempt to sculpt the hand quite yet. Last but not least, I added a tiny hat. I gave a quick prime of gray, and then dry brushed white to bring the details back out. I picked pale looking skin color for all parts where the clothing was torn. And then painted the two sections of his clothes that were black and the two that were white. That's the cool thing about this piece, is that Art the Clown, with the exception of anything bloodstained, it's basically just using black and white in different areas. I painted the body parts as well, and then gave everything a light brown wash. Once that dried, I gave it another white dry brush just to tone back up the details. Then the really fun part. I used blood for the blood god and splattered him, focusing on the knife and the body for the pools of blood, and the blood splatter on his clothes. After that, I called it done. This was my first time converting something, and it was quite fun. I think I might try to do some more in between building more buildings, which was supposed to be the main project. It still is, but I like to improve upon my projects, and my first building had a lot of things I don't want to repeat, so I'm taking my time and trying to find the best way to build it for me. Thank you to all the new subscribers and your comments, It really means a lot, and I hope to read more soon. In the meantime, keep crafting and keep surviving.